Alright guys, so today we're going to do the virtual dissection lab. This is a video so you can pause it anytime to answer the questions. And here we go.
Initial observation. This lesson we will do the following. Identify parts on the dorsal ventral side of the frog in the frog to make it to open. Examine the internal organs and identify them. Welcome to the frog dissection module. Frogs are part of the Chordata family. This group contains members such as newts, salamanders, toads, and of course frogs. Consisting of cold-blooded vertebrates that are born with water-breathing humans. As they reach adulthood, they undergo a change called metamorphosis and form lungs to breathe in. This specimen is a common bullfrog, also known by the scientific name Rhodopataceana. Respiratory knee buttons to get a pair of blue heart specimens. Moving left and right rotates the frog. Up and down goes it. How would you describe the surface of this frog? Why is it healthy? The frog's skin is unique because it is an absorbent respiratory surface, often covered with mucus. Skin can absorb more than 25% of its daily oxygen, as well as enough water so that the frog doesn't have to drink. Mucus produced from the skin aids in absorption and keeps the skin from drying out. It also makes the frog slippery to its predators. Frogs also have pigment cells within the skin called chromatophores that help a slightly changed tone. This helps the frog regulate body temperature and camouflage itself. Let's observe three features of the head. Slit on the eye. The frog eye has a third eye called the nictitating membrane, which protects the eye of the eye and moistens the eye on end. Find a slit on the external mouth. You might refer to the external near-eye nostril, but they lead directly to the roof of the mouth to help the frog smell and breathe. Finally, press on the temples. The temple is the external eardrum of the frog. It passes down to the inner ear, which it protects. On bullfrogs, the temple also amplifies their throat sound. In this picture, take notice to what is above water. Frogs can hunt while using their primary senses. Because it powerful guns, the bullfrog can jump up to 20 times its own length. It can also swim faster than letting the peanut hold. There is an organ where the legs meet called the cloaca. Split on the frog turn feet both at the ear, and depending on the sex of the frog, as your sperm will too. This makes it somewhat difficult to determine the sex of a frog. So to help you out, here are a few ways to tell the difference. Male bullfrogs generally have a larger belly for grasping a female back. Males also have larger twin limbs than females. However, females are often larger than males, especially when filled with eggs during mating season. Press the arrow so that we may flip our specimen over and see its ventral side. Examine the ventral side in 3D, and then press the pin button on the toolbar so that we can secure the frog. Drag the pins to their targets. Locate and press on the abdomen. Press the scalpel button. Make 3 incisions along the dotted red line. Open the skin flaps and pin them. Now open the muscular abdominal flaps and pin them also. Locate and press on the thorax. Press on the scissors button. Cut along the dotted line through the sternum. Next, cut across the clavicle region. Open the thoracic flaps and pin them. We will now initially examine the interior. Press the magnifier button. Let's now identify some organs. Find and press on the heart. Excellent. We will find out more about the heart in the circulatory lesson. Now press on the liver. Good. We will cover the liver in more detail later. Find and press on the stomach. Very good. Now find the small intestine. Good. Now the large intestine. Correct. The stomach and intestines will be covered with more detail in the digestive. Find and press on the lung. Correct. The lung will be covered in detail in our respiratory lesson. Now find the bladder. Good. Lastly, find and press on the kidneys. Excellent work. The bladder and kidneys will be studied more in the your general system. Congratulations. You have successfully completed the initial observations of the bullfrog. Press the green arrow to proceed to the cave.
In this lesson, you will do the following. Injecting into the veins and arteries of the frog. Identify regions of venous and arterial flow. Remove and open the heart to see how it functions.
The circulatory system consists of a muscular heart that pumps blood through a network of 3 types of vessels called arteries, capillaries, and veins. Click on the conus arteriosus, which is on the heart. Initially, a layered mixture of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood leaves the heart through the first artery encountered, named the conus arteriosus. Arteries are vessels that transport blood away from the heart. Press the injector button and then inject the conus arteriosus. In the conus arteriosus, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are separated by a spiral valve into one of 3 paths that blood will take throughout the body. These 3 paths are then split into mirrored right and left trunks of the Y-shaped truncus arteriosus. Click on one of the lungs. The first of these paths carries mostly deoxygenated blood through the pulmonary arteries, and to each lung, where capillaries exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen molecules. Connected to the pulmonary arteries just above the lungs are smaller cutaneous arteries that also lead to gas exchanging capillaries in the skin. Click on the center of the head. The second half of each arterial trunk turns into two carotid arteries that bring oxygenated blood to areas of the mouth and brain. Lastly, the largest pair of arteries, called the systemic arch, reconnect to form the dorsal artery against the back of the frog. Along the way, secondary arteries branch off to the arms and sides of the head. The dorsal artery divides at its end to form the sciatic and femoral arteries of each leg, but it also produces arterial branches that lead to the stomach, small intestines, kidneys, and gonads. As arteries extend outward, they decrease in thickness until they turn into the microscopic vessels known as capillaries. Capillaries can be as little as one red blood cell thick. This aids in transfer of nutrients, wastes, gases, and on the frog it helps in cutaneous respiration of the skin and mouth regions. After transfers have been made, blood is then moved to the last type of vessels called veins, which bring blood back to the heart. The veins drain blood from 4 separate areas. To show returning blood flow, click on the blue injector and inject the areas. Firstly, blood from the head and arms drain into a storage area called the anterior vena cava, just at the top dorsal side of the heart. Secondly, blood returns from the legs. One portion of the blood from the legs has waste filtered from it by means of capillaries in the kidneys, and eventually ends up in the lengthy posterior vena cava behind the heart. The rest of the blood from the legs moves up the abdominal vein to the liver. Here, the third group of veins from the abdominal region is also received. The liver then sends this blood to the posterior vena cava after processing it. Fourthly, blood from each pulmonary vein is sent directly to the left atrium of the heart. These are the only veins that carry purely oxygenated blood. The rest carry a mixture of cutaneously oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. We are now ready to remove the heart. Press the scissors button. Place the heart to the right of the frog. Pin the heart and then press the scalpel button. Slice the heart and open it. Then press the magnifier button. The frog heart has 3 chambers, which consist of 2 atria and 1 ventricle. Click on the left atrium. As we've mentioned before, the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the pulmonary vein. Click on the right atrium. The right atrium receives deoxygenated blood from the sinus venosus, which is connected to the anterior vena cava and posterior vena cava on the dorsal side of the heart. Both atria then release blood into the single ventricle. Click on it. During the final stage, the ventricle pumps the layered oxygenated and deoxygenated blood through the conus arteriosus. Press on it. Here, an internal valve called the spiral valve diverts the deoxygenated blood to the pulmonary artery, the oxygenated blood to the carotid artery, and a mixture of both to the systemic arch. You have now completed this lesson.
Okay guys, so now you're going to stop this video, and this is the complete for today, and then tomorrow you'll do another lesson on the dissection.